We had a rare occurrence in Vail this morning. Actually, this whole week's been really intense. We've had 3 worshipers who had just lost through death their mothers or husband, all with us at the Vail Chapel. And I know I listen to you. I listen to the burdens that you bear. I know that this time of year can be not only joyful, but kind of intense, challenging for many people. So with that in mind, I searched the scriptures today for the one most important question that haunts us today through the readings. This is a really big question. So is your house ready for Christmas? House all good? Everything out? All the lights up? Everything? I mean, we've got to get the house ready, right? Everything in order? All the Santas out? How's your house looking for Christmas? Is it okay? Well, let's take a tour through the house. I mean, this is really the most important question, right? Is how your house looks for Christmas. Let's take a tour and see if we need a radical extreme makeover. Because, if we visited your home, maybe we have to kind of see what looks good and what doesn't. Let's start with the front door. Is it open or closed? I've become my father. I remember my dad saying, now we're in Florida, so it's opposite seasons, right? Why do you keep the front door open? You're air conditioning the whole world. My dad shows up now regularly. Why do you keep the front door open? We're heating the whole world. Anybody remember that? Yeah, does that sound familiar? Actually, I'm going to make a radical suggestion that for Christmas, the front door be open, wide open, and not closed. And I'll give you a hint. At Christmas time, the warmth does not come from the inside of the house out. It comes from the outside in. So many people are getting ready for Christmas, and that door is shut and shuttered, and it is closed, tight as it can be. God has a hard time showing up when that door is closed. May I make a radical suggestion that God can show up a lot better when that door is open? The Bible tells us that Jesus does not kick the door down. It must be opened from the inside to receive him. Revelation 3:20, Jesus says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If you open the door, I will enter into you, and I will be with you, and you will be with me." Everybody remember that beautiful English painting of Jesus in the winter season? He's at a wooden, like a farm door. He's got a lantern lit, his face is being illuminated, and he's knocking on the door. But famously, the English painter did not put a handle on the exterior of the door. Jesus can't open that door. We can to receive him. And I meet so many people who are so ready for Christmas, but their door is shuttered and locked, and nothing and no one is going to get inside. May I suggest that's a horrible way to have your house ready for Christmas. Door open, ready to receive that Christ child or someone else on God's behalf. The angel Gabriel showed up here. You never know who God might send at this time of the year to come into your home. The warmth comes from the outside in. Door open is just my suggestion as your decorator consultant for Christmas. Let's walk into your house and let's walk into the living room. Now, many of us were raised in homes where the architectural belief was you needed a separate room to live in. And in our house, my parents put all the most breakable items, all the antiques, into the living room. And anybody went into the living room about 2 times a year. Anybody know sitting room in the South, the drawing room, they're different names, right? But it was the place where you could listen to your arteries harden, generally. and you went into it to clean it, or perhaps to decorate it. Now, in the West, isn't it cool that architecture's changed dramatically, and they figure that they blow out that wall so that all the space is living space. And so that's why you can actually see it through your kitchen, into your dining area, into the TV room, many of our homes, because architecture changed in the 1970s. Remember when Mike Grady was having children? Right? It changed. And you see now it's open. What's your living room look like? Let me ask you another way. Is there anything living in the living room? Some living rooms, when I walk into homes, feel like mausoleums. They're deader than a doornail. Yes, I've read the book. What's particularly dead about a doornail instead of a door knocker? Yes, I've read that. But it's still a great phrase. Living rooms should be alive. I mean, with life. With conversation. With warmth. A feeling of welcome. That there's something dynamic happening between people in a living room. Christmas is about life. We worship a God who is alive. He moves. He's active. He's dynamic. And so it should be about life. So many voices in our world invite us to decorate with death. And Christmas stands over against that, and God stands over against that voice of death and says, the light shines in that darkness. How's the light in your living room? Is it lit? Is it bright? Is it warm? I know people that are all ready for Christmas. The houses on the outside look tremendous, and on the inside, people are literally dying. And God says, not allowed. Christmas is about life. The gift of life. Connection with God. It should be warm. And it should be connective. And it should feel good. So how's your living room? Is it closed off and sealed with things that you can only break? Or is it open and alive? Because when God comes, my friends, God only brings life. He doesn't bring any other gift. Let's go into the kitchen. How about the kitchen? What are you serving in that kitchen? What are you serving in that dining room? Now, I know at this time of year that we're tempted to eat things that are not entirely good for us. Or if you're Episcopalian, to drink things that aren't entirely good for us. Over and over and over again. So, for instance, in our house, after exams, there seems to be a moral law of the universe that because we've worked through papers and tests and quizzes and we've done our schoolwork, that we're allowed to go on a carbohydrate sugar rant, the likes of which the world's never seen. And the title is, the phrase is, because we deserve it. And so I'm tempted myself to eat things that look good, but they're not very good for you. And aren't we all tempted to do that at this time? What are you serving in your house? Is it solid food? Is it food that will nourish the soul? I know people that look for Christmas literally in all the wrong places. And I promise you that anything that is not 100% from God will never feed the deepest parts where we really need the nourishment. It just won't. People try and stuff all kinds of things into that space as if it's going to feed us, and it doesn't. And we're literally starving. We may not look like it on the outside, but inside, I'm starving. So my question is, what are you serving? Because God has a rich feast. Friends, we've got a rich feast. This meal can take you forever. It can feed the places that nobody else can touch. The Bible, the glorious music of Christmas, the true Christmas, not the hallmark, that's food that lasts. So don't serve anything else. It's just my recommendation. Let's go upstairs. ready for this? Oh, people love this part of the message. How about the bedroom? Don't you take people in? I frequently get taken into bedrooms when I visit homes. It's amazing, but I do. And I'll tell you the two things about a good bedroom is where some of the best things in life happen and where some of the deepest hurts happen too. Right? And so, how's your bedroom for Christmas? That intimate part where we hold all the hopes and dreams and some of the worst wounds and hurts. How's that bedroom? It should be a place of intimacy, right? Where people are connected together at the most basic level. Anybody that we're having a rough time with at Christmas? Maybe a little reconciliation? Maybe someone that we need to reach out to? Maybe is there a sense of intimacy in our lives that are deeply missing? And you see, if you open that door to the bedroom, God says, okay, there's enough room for me and you. And God can come in. This Christmas, it can be different. It really can. God can take all kinds of bedrooms and make them better. I promise. Some of us that had children bed in the bedroom, the best child to bed in the bedroom is the Christ child. Bring them on in and see what happens. Last room in the house, it's called the study in our house. What's it called in your house? It's the room that takes it for the team. It's the room where everything we don't want anybody else to see, we don't know what to do with, we don't want to look at, gets tossed into that room. And it stays there and molds for years. It could be a shed, it could be storage room. It's called my study in our house where everything goes in. When does it come out? We don't know. What's in there? We don't know. Are you going to re-gift it? God, I hope not. We don't know. Anybody got that room? Right. Guess where Jesus goes straight away when he comes into the home? He goes into that room. Because he wants to see all the stuff that you don't want to show anybody else. It's all that unresolved stuff. Since we're on YouTube, I'm thinking of another word, but stuff. And it can pile up year after year. Relationships, family memories, frustration at work, people that have died, people that are alive we wish had died. It can all just pile up right there. And every time you open it, you go, can't touch it, clang. And Jesus says, no, let's go into that room. We can do radical extreme makeover. There's nothing in that room that I haven't seen, heard, felt, or touched. Jesus says, we can do this room together. We're going to clean that room right out. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. This is a Christmas, if your house is ready, where Jesus will go into that place with all that unresolved stuff. And Jesus can take care of it. That's part of the Christmas message. Friends, am I talking about the home in which you live with a geographical address in this message? Is that the house I'm talking about? No. Am I talking about the house that you've come from, for wherever it is that you live, that you're visiting, family? No. Where is the house that I'm preaching about right now? I preach funerals all the time with that beautiful picture of the mansion in heaven that Jesus gives us. I go to prepare a place for you so that where I am, you also may be. Everybody remember that reading from John? Here in the Book of Common Prayer is the only mention of a different mansion. One time a year on the fourth Sunday of Advent. It's on page 3. It's my favorite collect of the entire year. The collect is that little prayer that we start with. Purify our conscience, Almighty God, by your daily visitation, that your Son, Jesus Christ, has coming, may find inside of us what? A mansion prepared for what? For him. The mansion is not just in heaven. The mansion is here. Inside of us. And Jesus says, I'm coming. Get ready to open the door. Friends, I don't know a darn thing about decoration. Come to our house to find that truth. I don't know about cooking. I don't know about storing lunch. What I do know is that Jesus is coming. And the mansion that he cares about is not the roof over your head. It's the place in our hearts. And he will help us prepare and purify it so that we can receive him as he comes, because he will. A blessed fourth Advent to all of you. In the name of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.